Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is White Lightning 777. We're talking about just some thoughts about, the stolen election and, the CCP coronavirus vaccines and just a few other things. I mean, first of all, if you look at what the Bolsheviks have done, like with Antifa throwing bombs and harming people and whatnot, that's not really, I mean, that's terrorism. It's domestic terrorism. You're violating human rights, and it's not even all that terribly effective. I mean, look, just a couple of weeks ago, Antifa was throwing bombs, and now the stock market just hit 30,000. Yeah, really, we did a lot of damage. Human tragedies, but it doesn't really, throw a wrench in the works. A much better path of resistance, and this has been done in other countries, is a nonviolent one. What kind of nonviolent one? Well, the best thing, imagine if, let's say, half of people who voted for Trump went on strike. Everybody calls in sick to work. Don't care if you're a doctor. Don't care if you work as an air traffic controller. Don't care what position you have. Or maybe just flip burgers at McDonald's. Doesn't matter. Everybody who did, as a block of people, goes on strike. And even better, pickets, protests. About 74 million people voted for Trump. That's going to teach those commie bastards a lesson. They're not going to be able to tax anybody. They're not going to be able to take your guns. And all those yuppies and stuff that didn't vote for Trump they're going to be overworked. Those idiots they're going to find themselves on 36-hour shifts. They're going to find, the ATMs don't work. The power's shut off. The water's shut off. You go on strike for, 3 days, maybe a week. Now, yeah, are strikes nonviolent? Yes. You don't have to shed a drop of anyone's blood to do that. Okay, everybody call in sick. Donald Trump gets on the air and says, guess what? These guys have it coming. Week from now, everybody call in sick. I want everybody who voted for me to go on strike. Go out in the street, maybe protest, peacefully protest or whatever. And this has been done in other countries, usually, Middle Eastern countries, third world countries, Europe. I mean, this is a proven tactic, and it does far more damage and gets far more attention than just, some idiot Tim McVeigh type, rolling a truck bomb out. It doesn't really do much. I mean, it's, aside from cause needless suffering, it doesn't really change anything. Now, the other thing is if people can go on strike, well, there is an implied threat. We can do other things. That will get their attention. The best way to deal with commies, even though they hate capitalism, they may have money. The best place to kick them is in the wallet. Screw up their money. Make their life inconvenient. The other thing I guess I'll talk about is the vaccine. You have, these idiot anti-vaxxers, Cuomo and Jill Stein and all these other people who are like, well, don't take the vaccine, it's rushed. Well, actually, there's 3 different ones out that are now out. The AstraZeneca, Moderna, and Pfizer. Warp speed worked. Okay, you don't want to take the vaccine? Okay, here's the deal. Well, first of all, the best thing to do is to get the antibody test to see if you've already been exposed, because if you didn't have symptoms, you had the coronavirus, you take the vaccine, you're just taking from somebody else who needs it. Aside from that, take the antibody test, and if that's positive, then go take a coronavirus test and make sure you're still not antisense, that you're not actually spreading it. Okay. assuming it comes back negative. Now, here's the deal. Well, they don't want to get vaccinated. Okay. Do you trust Xi Jinping, Cuomo, Jill Stein, the Democrats? I mean, who do you trust? Do you trust them? Or do you trust Donald Trump and the FDA and Coronavirus Task Force? And even though Fauci's an idiot, he's not, malicious. And, you trust more. If you think that a Chinese germ laboratory, they accidentally, in quote, released a virus, probably they didn't like the trade deal. If they're more trustworthy than our president, and you take your chances with the virus, that's fine. If you're in a really low risk category, I can see the point. There are still therapeutic drugs out now, like Regeneron, that will treat you if you do get sick, and remdesivir. So, if you get sick, but the other thing is, but here's the other factor. Yeah, you can fully recover. I think 99.7 people on average fully recover. But there's still going to be consequences. First of all, you're going to be in a lot of pain. A lot. This is like getting mono. You're going to be real sick. You're going to have scarring in your lungs. Now, look, you can have actually have a benign tumor in your lungs and actually remove an entire lung. A person can live a normal life with half a lung. But you're still going to hurt your lung capacity. Your sense of taste and smell will go away. They may vanish. Or it may be permanent. Cardiac damage. And it's going to take you a long, long time to get your strength back, like 6 weeks to a month. Think about that. This is White Lightning 777. Apparently, the last video I did cut off. I don't know why. The camera had no memory or whatever. But I'm going to put this as an extension on the MAGA and the coronavirus vaccine video, and I'm going to splice them, and I'm going to upload that as an extended one. The other thing with the coronavirus is it doesn't kill you by itself, but it plus diabetes, plus high blood pressure, plus these other conditions will get you. You think you want to take your chances with the virus? Are you 100% sure you don't have any other problems? When was the last time you've been to the doctor? Sure about that? You're going to miss time. You're going to be off. And the thing is, you're going to lose money. If you're off work weeks at a time, you've got to have 2 negative tests, sometimes 3, to go back to work. You're going to lose a lot of money getting sick. Much easier, much cheaper to get a vaccine that's for free. It's 2 shots. Get it? Just look at your time left. So, get the coronavirus vaccine after you have, after you get an antibody test that's negative. The other factor, of course, is our president. Donald Trump went through hell and moved heaven and earth with Project Warp Speed to get that vaccine out in less than a year. He's fighting for his presidency. It's touch and go. Maybe he gets to the court, maybe not. Maybe they rule in his favor, maybe they don't. Who knows? You have new justices, but they have an axe to grind with, Biden and Kamala Harris, as I said before. So even if you don't do this for yourself, do it for the Donald. Do this to support our president. Do this to support all that he's done for us and all that he has worked for our benefit, to help us as people. Especially because, he may not make it. They may even frame him and, whatever. Let's take advantage of what we have been given by somebody who like vaccines or not, has worked a scientific miracle, So that concludes this portion of the video. I'll splice them together and upload them. This is White Lightning 777 signing out.